Long, Dr. Claire Cordy.
Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. Well, we
here.
sure are. We sure are. Now, Dr. Cordy's position is very important, very integral to the whole game. She is our judge, so the decision of hers will be final if it comes to that. We kind of hope sometimes we don't have to hear too much from you, other than the coin toss and what the score is, and hopefully that's the way it will be this morning.
Okay.
We're very glad to have you with us. So we're going to give you a chance now to hear about the rules for our contest and hear a couple of messages from our sponsors, and then we will be back with our first round of this semifinal contest between our two fine teams, Regis and Logan. We'll be right back. Bye-bye.
Round 1 is the individual round. The first team is determined by a coin toss. Team A is given a 10-point question and 5 seconds to answer. If no one answers, or if the answer is wrong, the question is offered to Team B. They can answer the question for 5 points or stand silent and lose or gain nothing. Then Team A gets a question and the same procedure is followed. This is done for 20 questions total. Round 2 is the toss-up round. A 5-point question is offered to either team. The first individual to answer correctly scores 5 points for their team. If it is answered incorrectly, they lose 5 points and the question is again offered to either team. This is done for 30 questions total. Round 3 is the lightning round. Each team will get 1 minute to answer 10 questions in a category as quickly as they can. Each question is worth 10 points. A question can be passed and gone back to if there is time. Now, back to the game.
My advisor especially, he's almost like a father figure. He's pushed me to study abroad because he said it would open up doors of opportunity for me through employment.
The business department here has given me the skills and the drive to aspire to form my own corporation.
My main advisor is Dr. Johnson, and he has been very helpful in helping me plan my career.
What the employers are looking for after they leave St. Mary's is a package, not just an academic major, but they're also looking for graduates who have communication skills and leadership skills and field experiences. And that's what St. Mary's does so well. It's not just prepare them academically, but also helps them get the total package.
Welcome back, and I hope you're all set for a great high school challenge contest here in this semifinal game. I'd like to also introduce someone that I didn't get a chance to introduce at the beginning of the program, and that is Whitney Miller to my right. She's a junior here at St. Mary's University of Minnesota, and she is our scorekeeper. So glad to have you with us again, Whitney, and appreciate your help here in our tournament. Well, Dr. Cordy, during the commercial break, we did a coin flip to determine who gets the first question of our first round, and who will that be?
Eau Claire Regis.
All right, Eau Claire Regis, here's your first question. Restate this sentence in the passive voice. Theodore threw the beaver outside. Go ahead, number 2.
Theodore throws the beaver outside.
No. Logan, would you like to try that question? Number 2.
The beaver was thrown outside by Theodore.
That's good for 5 points. Here's your 10-point question. Jeremy Bentham said that right is the greatest good for the greatest... Number 2.
Number of people.
That's correct. Regis, when the filming on a movie is complete, the director might be heard to say, "That's a..." Number 4?
Wrap.
That's a wrap, correct. Logan, around 1870, men's high stiff collars, women's diamond chokers, and military officers' braided collars were all called dog collars. Now, this may have given rise to what expression, meaning to prepare for a formal occasion by dressing with pretentious splendor? Number 2?
All dogged up.
No. Regis? Putting on the dog. That's an expression I don't use too often myself, but putting on the dog, remember that one next time. Regis, here's your 10-point question. A total of 54 senators voted in the impeachment trial of Andrew Johnson. Conviction would have required a total of how many votes? Number 3?
75.
No. Number 2 of Logan?
66.
No, that's not correct. 36. 36 would have been required. Here's a 10-point question for Logan. A change in sound intensity from 30 decibels to 50 decibels means the new sound is how many times louder? Number 4.
200.
No. Regis? It would be 100 times. Regis, here's a 10-point potential. The name of what arthropod with a segmented body is missing from this extraordinarily bad analogy? She walked into my office like a blank with 98 missing legs. Number 3.
Centipede.
That's correct. Logan, East Timor in Indonesia was formerly a colony of what European country? Number 2?
England.
No. Regis? It was Portugal. Regis, what dam was completed back in 1902 that backs up a lake nearly 200 miles long on the Nile? Number 2, rather.
Aswan High.
Yes, that's correct. Logan, he began a fish and wildlife reserve system that eventually set aside more than 30 million acres of U.S. lands when he designated Florida's Pelican Island a national wildlife refuge. Number 3?
Theodore Roosevelt.
That's correct. Regis, it ranges up to 1,600 kilometers in width and extends from Iceland to midway between Africa and South America. Name this enormous marine topological structure. Any idea, Logan? Number 4.
The Mid-Atlantic Rift.
That is correct. Here's your question now for 10 points, Logan. A substance that meets these conditions is classified as what? Solid crystalline structure, naturally occurring, inorganic, definite chemical composition with characteristic physical properties. Yes, number 2.
Salt.
No. Would you like to try that, Regis? The answer is mineral. Answer is mineral. All right, here's a 10-point question for Regis. The part of the process of being arrested in which the name of the detainee and the reasons for the arrest are placed into the police records is called what? Yes, number 4.
Preliminary hearing.
No. Any idea, Logan? Number 2.
Booking.
Booking is correct for 5 points. Here's your 10-point question. To the nearest integer, what is the surface area of a sphere with a diameter of 2.2 feet? Any idea, Regis? 15 square feet. All right, here's a 10-point question. This concerns what novel? He came upon a great coliseum where chariot racers were preparing for competition. When he noticed one resplendent driver, he stood transfixed. His instinct and memory had served him faithfully. The driver was Messala. Number 2?
Ben-Hur.
That's correct. Logan, one number exceeds another number by 8. What is the larger number if the larger number exceeds 3 times the smaller number by 15? Regis? Be 120. All right, Regis, for 10 points, name the largest U.S. federal agency that emerged to handle the administration of the 16th Amendment. Sorry, number 4, you're a little late. Logan, any idea? Number 4, Logan.
The IRS.
That's good for 5 points. Here's your 10-point question. In 1920, what retired Belgian policeman with a carefully groomed mustache and an egg-shaped head was introduced in a novel entitled The Mysterious Affair at Styles? Number 2.
Poirot.
Regis, the Yellowstone River joins the Missouri River just inside the western border of what state? Number 2.
Wyoming.
No. Any idea, Logan? North Dakota. Final question of the round. It goes to Logan. A pair of forces of equal magnitude which act in parallel but opposite directions and cause rotation is called a what? Go ahead, number 2.
Orbit.
No. Regis? It's called a couple. Okay, that brings us to the conclusion of our first round of our high school challenge contest. We'll be back to check on that score and probably fix our lights right after this short break.
My advisor especially, he's almost like a father figure. He's pushed me to study abroad because he said it would open up doors of opportunity for me through employment.
The business department here has given me the skills and the drive to aspire to form my own corporation.
My main advisor is Dr. Johnson, and he has been very helpful in helping me plan my career.
What the employers are looking for after they leave St. Mary's is a package, not just an academic major, but they're also looking for graduates who have communication skills and leadership skills and field experiences. And that's what St. Mary's does so well. It's not just prepare them academically, but also helps them get the total package.
Welcome back to St. Mary's University of Minnesota on this Sunday morning. Glad to have you here as part of our audience on Fox 25, Fox 48, as we bring you our high school challenge semifinal tournament contest between Regis and Logan. Well, Dr. Cordy, where do we stand with our score at this point in time?
It's very close. Eau Claire Regis has 40, Logan has 45.
Oh, extremely close. An extremely good game. Knew it was going to be with these two fine teams. Well, let's go ahead and begin with our toss-up round. Everybody grab their buzzers. Here we go. President Polk said in 1845 that the U.S. claim to the Oregon Territory up to the Alaskan border at 54 degrees 40 minutes was clear and unquestionable. But worsening relations with what other North American country? Number 2, Regis.
Canada.
No, that's not correct for either team who answered that question. Tell you what, we're going to throw that one out and we'll just continue on to another question so nobody loses any points. Because of that, we'll just continue on and pretend like we're starting over. Here we go. What concert hall in New York City that opened in 1891 was financed by a $2 million gift from a number 2 Regis?
Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall is good for 10 points. Name the structure on an airplane used to control yaw. Number 2, Logan.
Rudder.
That's correct. What is the radius of a circle if a 120-degree sector has an area of 6 pi? Number 3, Regis.
18 pi.
No. Anybody else? Either team? 3 times the square root of 2. All right, let's continue. The tribal group known as the Saxons, who invaded Britain back in the 5th century, came from what historical region in Germany? Number 3, Logan.
The Rhine.
No. Anybody else? Either team. Saxony. Who wrote this verse? Take up the white man's burden. Send forth the best ye breed. Number 2, Logan.
Rudyard Kipling.
That's correct. In education, for what does MBA stand? Number 2, Logan.
Master in the Bachelor Arts.
No. Anybody else? Either team. Master of Business Administration. Teams, the knight in this passage served in whose army of the 9th century? With deadly travail and stress and pain, Count Roland sounded the mighty strain. Forth from his mouth the bright blood sprang, and his temples burst for the very pang. That was Charlemagne. Teams, what element was named after the Norse goddess of love and beauty, Freya, otherwise known as Venatus? Number 2, Logan.
Freon.
No. Anybody else? Number 2, Regis?
Freon.
No. One more time, anybody? It's vanadium. What novel by John Knowles begins with this passage? I went back to the Devon School not long ago and found it looking oddly newer. Number 3, Logan.
A separate base.
Correct. If the sides of an isosceles triangle are 12 feet and the base is 8 feet, the altitude of the triangle equals 8 times the square root of what? Number 3, Regis.
Square root of 3.
No. Anybody else? Number 1, Logan.
208.
No. Anyone else? It equals the square root of 2. 8 times the square root of 2. Okay. Adverse means opposed, antagonistic, and hostile. What similar adjective indicates a feeling of opposition, reluctance, or distaste? Number 2, Logan.
Adversity.
No. Anyone else? Averse. In what country are these regions located? The Great Artesian Basin, Kimberley Plateau, the Arnhem Land, Null Arbor Plain, and the McDonnell Range. Number 4, Logan.
Australia.
That's correct. In club fungi, the fruiting mycelium is called a basiodocarp, a structure more commonly known as a what? Number 2, Logan.
Mushroom.
That's correct. While air and glass are transparent, frosted light bulbs and parchment lampshades are what? Number 2, Regis.
Translucent.
That's correct. When plastic surgeons graft new skin onto a damaged area, the tissues often become bruised and congested with blood. They have found that applying what annelids that absorb up to 4 times their own weight in blood? Number 2, Logan.
Leeches.
That's correct. You could pass through what tiny country when going directly from France to Spain? Number 2, Regis.
Monaco.
No. Anyone else? Either team? The country of Andorra. Andorra. Okay, that buzzer means we've reached the conclusion of our second round of our semifinal contest. We'll be back to check on that score and bring you the exciting lightning round right after this.
My advisor especially, he's almost like a father figure. He's pushed me to study abroad because he said it would open up doors of opportunity for me through employment.
The business department here has given me the skills and the drive to aspire to form my own corporation.
My main advisor is Dr. Johnson, and he has been very helpful in helping me plan my career.
What the employers are looking for after they leave St. Mary's is a package, not just an academic major, but they're also looking for graduates who have communication skills and leadership skills and field experiences. And that's what St. Mary's does so well. It's not just prepare them academically, but also helps them get the total package.
Welcome back to Fox 25, Fox 48's High School Challenge from the campus of St. Mary's University of Minnesota, the sponsor of our fine program, and been with us for so many years, and we're very happy to be part of the program here at St. Mary's University. Dr. Claire Corty, you have a score to report here after the end of 2 rounds.
Eau Claire Regis has 30 and Logan has 50.
Regis, that means that you have the opportunity to select from our 3 lightning round categories. We have 19th century, geography, and potpourri. What's your choice this morning?
We'll go with geography.
Geography. All right. 60 seconds on our clock. Here we go. What is the capital of the country in which Istanbul is the largest city?
Ankara.
Correct. The Biscay Plain is a region of the ocean floor off the northern coast of what country?
Spain.
Correct. On a mariner's compass, NNW indicates how many degrees and minutes west of due north?
45.
No. If you alphabetically arrange the Canadian island provinces, which is last on the list?
Victoria,
No. The 3 highest active volcanoes in South America are in what country?
Chile,
That's correct. The northern coast of Anatolia is on what sea?
Black Sea,
Correct. What small Asian country, comprising 1 large and 54 smaller islands, was part of the Federation of Malaysia until 1965?
Indonesia,
No. Saginaw Bay is an arm of which of the Great Lakes?
Michigan,
No. When you travel east from Omaha and cross the Missouri River, you enter what state? You enter the state of Iowa. And the Great Lake was Lake Huron. All right, Logan, we have a choice for you folks to make. We have potpourri and we have 19th century, and your official answer is?
Potpourri.
Potpourri. 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. The beaches of Grand Strand and Hilton Head Island are in what state?
South Carolina.
Correct. About 35% of Mexican territory was lost to the U.S. as a result of what treaty with the United States?
Pass.
There are 2 cruciate ligaments in each of your what?
Legs.
No. What kind of deeds transfer the owner's interest to a buyer but does not guarantee that there are no other claims against the property?
Pass.
The 2 purposes of what form of sculpture include warding off evil and ejecting excess rainwater from a roof?
Gargoyles.
Correct. In 1925, 2 American physiologists found that rats do not see well in dim light if their diets lack what vitamin?
Carotene.
No. What is another name for risk capital put up by investors to fund a new company?
Collateral.
No. What kind of invisible radiation is black light?
UV.
That's correct. John Hay wrote Castilian Days, which contains several essays on the civilization of what country since medieval times?
Pass.
Singular subjects joined by... All right, that means we've reached the conclusion of our lightning round of our semifinal contest. Be back to check on that score right after this break.
This is right.
My advisor especially, he's almost like a father figure. He's pushed me to study abroad because he said it would open up doors of opportunity for me through employment.
The business department here has given me the skills and the drive to aspire to form my own corporation.
My main advisor is Dr. Johnson, and he has been very helpful in helping me plan my career.
What the employers are looking for after they leave St. Mary's is a package, not just an academic major, but they're also looking for graduates who have communication skills and leadership skills and field experiences. And that's what St. Mary's does so well. It's not just prepare them academically, but also helps them get the total package.
Contest here on Sunday morning on Fox 25, Fox 48, our high school challenge from the campus of St. Mary's University of Minnesota. Dr. Cordy, before we announce the score, we have a correction to make.
Yes, one of the answers given by the Logan team was carotene, and that is as correct as vitamin A would have been for the answer given in the original copy.
Okay, so we'll correct the score to that, and then the final score would end up being?
Logan 90, Eau Claire Regis 70.
Well, that means Lacrosse Logan will be back again next week in our Super Bowl contest along with Onalaska.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you both so very much for being part of our contest. It's been great. Regis, thank you so much for being part of our show, and we sure enjoy always having you part of our tournament action. And we hope to look forward to seeing you folks back again next week, right here from the campus of St. Mary's University of Minnesota, and it will be Onalaska versus Logan in our Super Bowl. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.